Hey, how's it going? So, today I wanted to do something really easy, and I chose the tender bar because that was really easy. So, I'm blocking the view oh, of my disclaimer board. So, let me just give you all a look at that. And there's most of the cast. And what I'm going to do is focus on, well, mainly on Ben Affleck and Ty Sheridan's characters because, sorry about that, because to me they're like the most important ones in the movie. But it is a story of pretty much regular lives. I mean, it's not an action movie. There's no like huge violence or anything like that. Sorry, I got a weird alert from some shooter here in my state. Hooray! Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just like here. What did I say here? So I didn't write anything very long. It's a nice, sweet story of regular lives and stories of what goes right and doesn't, unfurled in the same way as in real life. Slowly, implacably, and with not so unexpected surprises. Illness, money problems, people who don't show up when needed that ought to, and they who fill those gaps when they need be. And when they do, they find their own spaces filled. Wow, I didn't know that. Hold on. Wow, didn't know I needed to do that situation. And they find it feels really good to step up. There's lots of expectations on the parts of parents and family and the ways they're met or not, just like in real life, by and for whom. Not so different from reality. Um, So basically, it's the story of JR, who is Ty Sheridan's character, and it starts from when he's a small child, and you sort of get a sense of what his family life, like his immediate family life, is like, and then because of circumstances, he and his mother have to move back into her father's house, her parents' house, which he loves and she can't stand because she feels like she's not getting anywhere. But he's a single and only like myself. And so he enjoys the fact that there's cousins that live in this house and aunts and uncles and people that are just there when, mom's got to be at work. And mom has really high expectations for this kid. It's, I think, very typical of people uh, that have kids and maybe are not fulfilled with what their life played out with as, and they want to see their kids do better than themselves. But I mean, I can speak from experience that my mom had expectations for me, and I understand the wanting your child to succeed and to be well enough educated to survive in society. And I know in my case, what what mother wanted was not what I wanted. Like she apparently thought secretary would be a good job for me, and whoa, see, it drives me so crazy. I get so shaken up, I make the whole world move. Okay, get straight, please. Yeah, but like no, not for me. Um, just, but see, in my mom's case, she was dying of cancer most of my life. So she knew that my father, who didn't step up just like this kid in the movie, he was around, he was there, he had a family that he took care of, but not us. So uh, I know what it's like to have like a father not step up and then have aunts and uncles come in and fill the breach. Uh, for a while, once I mean, once I grew up and their kids grew up, my aunts and uncles, and that, well, things just have gotten progressively more difficult for various reasons, personal and just regular life that it affects everyone type stuff. And that closeness dissipated, it went away. And so it was nice to see in the movie a family that didn't like stop giving a crap about you because you weren't cute, a little cute kid anymore, you know. Uh, and I think that my thing is more like reality than what's in this movie. I mean, I'm sure there's families that exist like this that, you know, through it all, no matter what, you know, are there for each other, take care of each other when you need it. And there's times like right now where that kind of help is good to have because it's just good to have. And I'm picking on Ben Affleck and Ty Sheridan, particularly out of the cast, which were they were all very good. I don't mean to diminutize the worth of their performances, the other actors, but there was a lot of them, and really, I do this because it's fun for me, and I like to talk about the stuff I like. And I'll start with Ty Sheridan. He was in Ready Player One. He was in a couple of X Men movies, but I'm just gonna put X Men Apocalypse. He was in Dark Phoenix and another one. He was in Deadpool 2. He was in Voyagers with Colin Farrell, which I did a video on. So you can. Oh, you would have to go back to my other channel on YouTube, which is just plain Kathy Sample. But yeah, Voyagers with Colin Farrell, and that was really good. It was a space story, and it just well, anyway, let me just move on here. He was also in The Night Clerk, and there was some other stuff, but I didn't add it all. But the thing about that guy, what in the things that I've seen him in, he's always this very like calm voice. You know, he's always the voice of reason, and it. I know he's an actor, but he's really young. He plays it so well. I mean, I really feel like there's a lot of himself in the characters that he plays. Probably he chooses them, the characters that he plays, for reasons. Um, but that always comes through to me, and it makes me think that that is a quality he has in, you know, his actual unscripted character. Hold on, sorry, I got cords going everywhere because I brought all my stuff in here. Um, but yeah, in every movie, this kid is like solid. You know, he's deeply rooted. He's calm. He's like old stone. It's like nothing seems to rock him. And I know that this is all in the script stuff, but he plays it really well. He plays it really believable, and I like it. And Ben Affleck, oh, I got to tell you, I got a soft spot for Ben Affleck. Always have. Uh, he was in Goodwill Hunting, Shakespeare in Love, 200 Cigarettes, Reindeer Games, Pearl Harbor, Argo, Hollywoodland, The Accountant, Baby Gone, Gone Baby Gone, and a whole ton more. So I'm not going to spend my whole time listing all of that stuff, and I didn't include anything from his child actor days, which is kind of extensive too. Excuse. But here's one reason I just liked him like an as an actor anyway. Like he's not bad to look at. And he's he's had some stuff that wasn't great, but who hasn't? I mean, not that I've well, actually, I have been in a couple of things, and that doesn't matter. Sometimes you have a good performance, and sometimes you don't, or sometimes it's a fine performance and it's not received well. Uh, I I guess I'm biased. Like I liked Geely. Okay, I still don't understand what the big deal was. he was so famous, and Jennifer Lopez was so famous at the time. I think that people's expectations were just beyond like every person's own concept, and everyone I guess was just believing it. Like, this is a bad movie. Like, I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was kind of sweet. It's just small. It's not of great importance. Were you expecting that? Does it come off? Was it described as that? No, it's fluff. It's fine. Uh, and then he was great in other things. And oh, I didn't mention like Justice League. Of course, he's Superman. He played Christopher Reeves in Hollywoodland, who played Superman, the first TV show that's in black and white, which you can watch in syndication somewhere. I don't know where everybody else is, but The Adventures of Superman. That's what Christopher Reeve played in. So Ben Affleck was in Hollywoodland, which was about the mysterious murder of Christopher. Why am I saying Christopher Reeve? It's not Christopher Reeve. Ah, now I gotta look it up. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this fast. So while I'm doing that, though, here's the other thing I really like about Ben Affleck. I mean, he's smart. That that counts. I always like that when someone is a smarty pants, and he's talented. Writer, actor, producer. Uh, hold on. Can't type and talk at the same time. Original Superman, George Reeves. Duh. So yes, he played George Reeves, not Christopher Reeves. Different Superman. Sorry about that. I'm glad I realized I said it because I would sound crazy otherwise if I didn't fix it. Like, I don't always sound somewhat crazy. Okay, that's neither here nor there. But the thing about Ben Affleck that I keep trying to talk about is the time that he was on Real Time with Bill Maher, and Sam Harris was on there. And I'm not going to try to characterize Sam Harris. I'm just going to say, look him up and make your own decision. And I could not find the episode because every time I tried to pull up anything about Bill Maher, it just came up to like stuff you can buy. So I didn't go back in all of the years of episodes and go try to find that because I couldn't find an episode number. But it was a debate, and it was a debate basically about religion, which, if you know Bill Maher at all, he loves to talk shit about religion. Forget what it might mean to the people that practice it and keep doing it because they have their reasons, like maybe they like it or it's traditional, or you know everybody does it in their family and it's just what's done. Like, he doesn't, I don't know, he has like, I don't disagree with him on some points about religion, but I just think it's weird that he's all trying to attack it and make it. Well, are you trying to make the people that like it not do it? I don't think that's gonna work. Like, you're not the first person to come along, Mr. Marr, to try to discourage people about religion. Those people are not gonna listen to you. So, but anyway, he and Sam Harris were sitting together on one side of a table, and Ben Affleck was on the other, which is, I don't know if they did that on purpose, but but Bill and Sam agreed that, like, I think the main argument was that I think Bill Maher said something like all Muslims are terrorists, and it's funny because they were talking. Oh, I'm not even going to go there. Somebody else was talking about Bill Maher's attitude towards religion, and that was basically what he was saying. Oh, they were talking about a completely different bill, but with the same opinion, basically. And Bill Maher is not stupid. He knows that all Muslims are not terrorists, or he had some other beef with what they believe. Like, it can't be real. It's not real to him, so it can't be real. Well, that's not the kind of thing you can dictate to other people. But the thing I liked about the argument that Ben Affleck had was just that you guys are gross. Like, how are you making these decisions about people? And I wish I could have called it up because I just have to go with what I can remember. But um, I mean, it was basically along the lines of what I was saying. Like, why are you denigrating these people because of their religion? Like, you don't know the circumstances. You don't live in their country. You didn't grow up in their family. You didn't live their life. It's like Ben Affleck was offended by their opinion that it was so belittling to these people, and it was just inconsiderate and rude. And they Bill and Sam tried to team up on him, and Ben got mad and got all big, and his head got bigger and smarter. And he just told him off really well. So yeah, that will always stay with me, and I just think it's so good. And I think it's so good that he stood up like that because he didn't have to. I mean, he didn't have. I mean, I really felt like he was standing up for these people. And then another thing about him that I really liked was I didn't try to look for this because I just knew my search skills were not good enough to find it. But it was an episode of Project Greenlight, and it was Ben and uh, the heck's the other guy's name, Matt Damon, sitting at a table with this woman, and she was a black woman, and the subtitles, the captions were saying that she was an award-winning writer, actor, producer, director, all of that herself. And I don't know if I came into it when it had already started, and I didn't do this then, so of course it didn't occur to me to like mark it or remember the episode and all that stuff. But I don't know if she was consulting on a script, which I think is what she was doing, that someone else turned in and they were trying to adapt it, or they were doing something to it, or it was her script. But she made a comment and said, well, I think that this should be this way because of this. And it was something that she had more of a base of experience on the subject to speak of, which was being black for one thing in the situation. Basically, that pretty much covers it all. And Matt Damon was condescending, arguing with her, and then tried to tell her like what the black person would think and do. And this woman was polite, but I could see that she was getting to the end of her tether. Like, listen, Sonny, you're good, but I'm not shit. I'm not nothing. And Ben Affleck had the good grace to look completely uncomfortable, appalled, like, and it wasn't at her. It was at his partner there, Ben Damon, Matt Damon. Uh, and I don't know what his deal was. Like, why was he being so aggressive with this woman? And it was like that thing that happens to us women or us black people where you're perfectly capable. You do and have done all of the same things. And yet, for some reason, your work is not as much. I don't understand, like, the thing that gets into someone's head and makes them think that. But anyway, like I said, Ben Affleck had the good graces to look completely mortified, basically. And he was looking at Damon like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I kind of wish he would have said something, but at the same time, I feel like he was being respectful of this woman because it wasn't his place to speak as much as it was hers. That's all I can think. Uh, and I don't know what all of the dynamics are between him and his partner there, Damon, and like what was going on, but it didn't look good. Not for Matt Damon. He looked pretty crappy. So yeah, I mean, that's why I like him, because he is like a stand-up guy, and he's not afraid to just say what he needs to say. So that's cool, and he's not offensive. Like, he doesn't get down on people, and I don't know, be all weird. Like, I know, like, if the press has a lot of fun with him and his drinking or whatever, but I feel like this. I don't live with the guy. Like, I don't have to live with him. I don't have to be around him when he's drunk because maybe he's not a pleasant drunk because a lot of people are not. Or whatever it is. I just enjoy his work. Okay, I feel like that's really all that we as viewers can do. So anyway, in the story, uh, Jr., who is Ty Sheridan's character, lives with his mom, and he does have a father, as I mentioned, but the father is, like, I guess he's a drunk, and he, like, doesn't pay the child support and doesn't tell people where he is, and, like, JR's mom, Ruby, is that her name? Oh, I'm not even on that page anymore. Oh no, I took it down. I believe. Oh wait, hold on. I don't have a lot of room in here. No, I didn't put her name. I just put mom. So okay, mom, like, has this kid, and she's, like, of course unhappy that the father is not around to be a father, let alone help pay for the child. And the mother has to have upkeep too so that she can take care of the child, to help, because of working usually is not enough. I mean, the time that this story takes place in, presumably the two of them could have gotten a place, but she's having a hard time and they have to go move with the father. And I think it was like the 70s. So, like, rents were hella cheap. Like, I don't know what was up with her, but she wasn't getting help from the father. Again, I can relate because I lived that situation as the child. And the mother gets very anxious and irritable, and it's a whole thing. I mean, people have kids, maybe. You were a kid, you have parents. I mean, I don't think any of this kind of turbulence is unusual for a lot of people. And if it is, you've seen it depicted. So, but the mother, like, is not big on the father, so she gets upset with JR, the little boy, for looking at all the radio stations, listening to all these radio stations trying to find his dad, because he doesn't keep his jobs because of his personality either. He's just all over the place, or he's running away from debts, or he's just not a good guy. And that leaves, like, you know, how, I don't have to explain. Little boys need a father in their life, like kids need a father, but in this case, it's about a little boy. And so Ben Affleck's his uncle Charlie plays his uncle Charlie, and he steps into the breach. And I also love this about his character, is that he's a bartender, but he has a psychology degree, and he gives out advice to this kid. And some of it, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it was the 70s, so some of it's kind of like, even though he's obviously smart, he I don't know that he got a degree. He's a self-taught. Yeah, I don't think he got a degree. That's right. But he's self-taught about psychiatry or psychology. I get those confused. Someone correct me if you need to, but it's like head shrinker stuff. And he gives the boy some good advice over the years because you get to see that progression. But some of it, especially when he was young, I'm like, why is he telling him this? But it's like that macho guy thing that would have been prevalent in the 70s, or maybe still is. I don't know. I didn't grow up with men in the house, so I really couldn't tell you. All I have is like TV stuff and occasional. I was going to say, I wanted to say brief visits, but I almost said brief clashes, but yeah, both. To see the father, of mine. So yeah, and my mom wasn't famous on my dad either because he was around, had another family, but he didn't do shit for us. So That's dad. I think it's a lot of dads. And that's probably hard. I have no concept. I have no kids and I'm not a man. But I watched my mom, do it all. And while she was sick for half of her life and three-quarters of mine. So, you need those people to step in and help fill the breach. And, for a while I did have relatives, but, they passed away. They were all old. They were all kind of old when I was born. So that's what happened with all of my people like that. Like everybody died. It sucks. Um, and so this kid was lucky. He had this whole family. He had the grandfather to step in when necessary. And I think he doubted himself going in to do the thing that he does in the film to help the boy and then comes out of it, like I said, but well, I didn't know I needed to do that. I feel great now. And it was good. Like I'm getting little chills now because it doesn't take much to make really good, big feelings, really big, good feelings, especially for a little kid. So it was nice to watch this life that this kid grew up with. And Ty Sheridan, again, with a totally chill, sedate attitude, like nothing phases him, was having some not great stuff happen to him. And this thing with this girl, like going back and forth and going back and forth. How do you think it worked out? Maybe I won't spoil that for you. See the movie. That's what I say. If you're just looking for something that you can relax into and just sit there and watch and go, this is a good one. And if you're like into retro type movies, it does pretty well. It does. There's not a whole lot of outside footage I noticed, so they must not have had a budget to like put everything in the past. But that's fine. I don't need. I mean, as long as I know what the story is and what's going on, I can carry myself through the rest of that stuff. I don't need all the bells and whistles. So yeah, only shows I like, only good reviews. This is getting a good review. I liked it a lot. Um, Again, if you're just looking for something calm that's not too taxing to watch and you just want to pass the time, this is a good one. I guess that's all I need to say about it. Thank you and good night.